All right, my man, state your name and let them know you on Nicovelli TV.
Yo, what's up? What's up? I'm Dave. I'm on Nicovelli TV.
That's what's up.
Representing
That's what's up.
Harlem, representing BX. What's good?
Okay, and I'm from the BX too, man.
That's what's
Soundview section. So we got BX and Harlem all in this shit. That's what's up. With a bunch of Brooklyn viewers. That's how we do it, man.
That's
up
what's
in
good.
here.
That's what's up.
All right. Okay, now, you're a Knicks fan.
Yeah, I am a Knicks fan.
How long you been a Knicks fan, man?
I've been a Knicks fan since 1990.
1990.
Yeah.
All right, that was with Patrick Ewing and the crew.
Patrick Ewing, Charles Oak. Let me see who else was on that crew. You know, Starks was on that crew.
Xavier McDaniels.
And this somebody even go before Starks, actually. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about.
We got Blackman, Hubert Davis.
Orlando Blackman, Hubert Davis.
Okay. So we know who you represented. All right. So who was your favorite player?
Pat.
What you liked about his game, man?
You know, I love Pat since Georgetown, you know? Since he was a Hoya destroyer. Big man, play down low, horse him down, I love Patrick Ewing for that, Great rebounder, great scorer, great defense, part of the original Georgetown crew, John Thompson. So I love that whole team, and I love the Knicks as a result when he got down with them.
Okay, now, we all know that Pat didn't have the help that was needed.
Right.
Some would say he did have the help, he just didn't utilize it.
Okay.
I mean, it's your perception, But if you was to expose Patrick Ewing's game, fill it in for me. Patrick Ewing was great, but he lacked, what would you say? What would you say Patrick Ewing lacked?
Well, I think later in his years, as he gotten older, I think he lacked the dexterity to be able to kind of move around like he did when he was younger. Before his knees started really barking and messing up on him, I think Pat had a good game. He developed a good jump shot later in his in the middle later to his career, which was good. But yeah, I think that he didn't really he didn't have that dominant
killer instinct?
No. I don't think he had that dominant player to play with him. He didn't have that number two. He had a bunch of number threes. He had Starks. He had he had a couple of good players with him, but he needed that kind of like that scorer. He needed that that person that they can just throw it down when he wasn't in the game.
So basically,
that didn't happen until he basically got dumb old.
So you saying Starks wasn't much of a help? He wasn't big
Starks
on.
was help, but I think Starks was like a number three. Starks should have been like a number three. Starks wasn't that number two for him.
Now, when you say Starks was number three,
yeah,
I'm gonna break each category down.
Okay.
I'm gonna stick with Starks being a number three.
Okay.
Would you say his offense was a number three for being the worst, one being the best, second and three? Starks' offense, 1 to 3, 3 being the best.
I would say he was like a number. He was between
His
the
offense.
2 and the 3. Yeah, he was inconsistent with his offense. He had some games where he's real explosive, and but then I think there were some games where he couldn't shoot. He was sporadic. With his shooting. So he wasn't a consistent, dominant number two like how you would have like now, like how you match these players up. To have that super team. And I think that's where with Pat, he had a crew. He did. He had a crew.
Okay.
But I just think he was missing that one player that he could have had on that team with him that could have just like go battle for battle with Chicago and Miami and Indiana,
All right, so
like
pause right there. I don't mean to cut you off short like that. So you said his offense was a number one, with 3 being the highest. Oh, you said
who? Starks?
Starks. You said 1 or 2.
Starks was like a 2.
All right. What about his defense?
Starks had great defense. He was a great defensive player. Yes, he was.
Okay, so you get out
And
of
he
3.
had heart. I love Starks' heart. I love his defense.
So you rate that a 3.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you said that, right? The reason why I broke it down like that, because I was curious what you was going to rate him as far as his defense.
Mm-hmm.
Because no other than Michael Jordan, we all know that Michael Jordan dominated the league.
Right.
He gave John Starks much props. He said Starks was the most difficult defender.
Right.
Like, he gave props to when Starks had to defend him.
Right.
Said he gave him fits, man.
Yeah. Starks was I would say Starks was that 2.5. I can't say he was like he was like he wasn't a bum. He definitely wasn't a bum. Starks was definitely a great player. He was an overachiever. He came up and he worked his way up to become a really, really good player with the Knicks. I always wanted Pat to have that. I don't know, that it was just like that Scotty to Jordan or that, you know what I'm saying? Like that one player that he could have had with him that definitely would have been able to like put up the points and really, carry that weight for him, when he was, not at his best,
Okay.
I mean, he had, like I said, he had a crew. You had like Charles Smith. Charles Smith was a good scorer, but Charles Smith was inconsistent. He was a little soft in some cases. You had Starks. You had Oakley. Oakley was his bodyguard, was his man. You know what I'm saying? So I like Oakley.
How you feel about how Oakley was being treated, man? Inside the guard,
recently,
man?
Yeah, that's kind of, it's kind of messed up. Yeah, I don't like that. I think that he was mistreated in a lot of ways by
James Dolan, right?
James Dolan, yeah.
All right, now we're going to move it up just a little, man.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get into the 2000s.
Okay.
Now you got Felton.
Raymond Felton, okay.
How you feel about that kid, this game?
Raymond Felton was okay, but he wasn't like that dominant point guard, that they needed at the time. I mean, he was a good point guard. He was serviceable, but he wasn't that dominant point guard that they needed.
Nah. So if I was to say to name me the top 3 point guards that ever played for the Knicks, that you feel is nice.
Point guards, okay.
Who would you give me starting with number 1? I'm gonna name. So you got Mark Jackson.
No, okay. I can tell you. I can say Walt Frazier, and I'm going all the way back.
Yeah.
Walt,
Let's go.
Clyde.
So Clyde's number 1.
Yeah, Walt Frazier, Clyde Frazier. You're talking about Earl of Pearl. Earl of Pearl. Him and they can alternate who's point, who's the off shooting guard. I love my man Rod Strickland. Rod Strickland was a beast.
What you liked about Rob Strickland game?
Strickland game, he was sick. You know what I'm saying? He just had a sick game, period, man. It's unfortunate that he didn't get a chance to play for the Knicks long term when they traded him, I guess they made a choice of him or Mark Jackson. I love both. I love Rod Strickland. I love when they had both of them. And they were, when they had that backcourt,
Yeah.
But those were 2 of my favorite point guards right there. I like Derek Harper. He was another good point guard for the Knicks, even though he was really from Dallas. But when he was with the Knicks, he did work.
Okay.
Unfortunately, my man what's his name?
We get back to that. Yeah. I don't want to be stagnated.
Yeah, my man.
But we're gonna move a little further up. What about Marbury?
That's what I'm talking. That's what I was thinking about.
Okay.
Marbury. That's why I was trying to get the name Marbury. I'm about to call him Starbury. That was my man. Marbury could have been like the best point guard the Knicks ever had.
Even over Mark Jackson?
Yeah, hell yeah. But the thing was that he had too much off the court stuff going on with him. And at the time, his ego, I think, got in the way of a lot of stuff with him.
Now, I know my viewers going to be curious to know what you think Marbury had over Mark Jackson.
Man,
I know there's somebody watching this right now saying...
Marbury was a flat-out beast. He was a scorer. He was like, you know what I'm saying? Mark Jackson was nice, Don't get me wrong. He was slow. You know, he had that slow game. He was, you know. But no, I think that the overall Marbury had more skills, and he had an all-around good game. You know what I'm saying? But it just did not work out, you know, with the Knicks long term because he kept getting into off the court stuff and had his own personal issues that was going on with the team and all of that stuff like that.
He's the man in China, you know that, right?
Yeah, but he's definitely the man. So I know, you know, I mean, Marbury was up there with Allen and, you know, that whole crew, you know, in the 90s, man. He's one of the best point guards, period. You know what I'm saying? His head, I don't know what happened.
Yeah. Now, we're going to get up to the meat of the bone, as I said. Carmelo Anthony, man.
Okay, my man.
You know, right now, Melo can't find a home right now to play for.
I would love him.
He's practicing with the Knicks right now.
Wow.
Whether they pick him up or not, I don't know. He's practicing with Julius Randle.
Yeah.
Then you got KD and Kyrie bidding for him to come over to the Nets.
Yeah.
Who would you like to see Carmelo Anthony at?
I would love to see him come back to the Knicks, even though that will be something that won't happen. But I would love for Carmelo to finish his career with the Knicks. He should be able to finish his career with the Knicks or in New York, you know?
Do you think Melo still got game in him?
Yeah. He got a lot of game in him left. You know what I'm saying? He just got, you know, it's just this game is so different from the way they play now. You know what I'm saying? He's more suited for the 90s. You know what I'm saying? The way his game is set up now. And as opposed to where it is now, you know? But yeah, he got game still. I mean, he got that mid-range game. You know, it could still be utilized somewhere in the league, you know? And I could see him not playing for the Knicks because the Knicks has gone young, you know?
Right.
And they just trying to develop a lot of young talent right now.
How do you feel about the young talent the Knicks got right now?
They got a lot of good young talent.
Now,
the Knicks had a little good crew last year, even though they, you know, their record didn't.
Well, I felt they was tanking for Zion.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to tell a lot of people that you can't even go by what we seen last year.
Yeah.
You know? But I think they're going
to see the talent, though.
Exactly. And I think they're going to make some serious noise this year.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the roster we got now, you got R.J. Barrett.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get Zion.
Right. And I think Zion to me, to be honest, we got to see how it's going to play out. But Zion may be a bust. But that's just a whole nother.
Yeah, we can talk about it now.
That might be a bust. You know what I'm saying?
Why you say that? Because he's already busting out his shoe.
Exactly. He's overweight. You know what I'm saying? He's overhyped. You know, he might not be what people making him out to be right now. And that's not on him. That's like the Odom thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he thought Odom was going to be like the best player in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it all takes one injury, and then everything going to be derailed at that point.
So
my hope is that doesn't happen, but I'm glad who we got, you know?
Okay, so you telling Nicovelli that R.J. Barrett is a better pickup
No.
than Zion Williams?
Well, we can only see maybe in the future that may end up playing out, being the case, because I'm not absolutely 100% sure that Zion is going to be the man who they say he's going to be.
No, but not Zion. I'm talking about R.J. Barrett.
I know, but R.J. Barrett, I think R.J. Barrett has that room for improvement to develop his game, and who knows, he may be that star in the league that no one's foreseen, seeing happen. They know he's going to be good, but they might not realize that he might be better than Zion in the long run.
All right. Now, R.J. Barrett, who you think he's going to gel closely with on the Knicks?
Who he going to gel?
That mean, the alley-oop. Like they could play Batman and Robin, man. Like how the Nets think they're going to get with the Kevin Durant and the Kyrie situation. Think R.J. Barrett and Kevin Knox to be them 1-2 players that's going to coexist together? R.J. Barrett and Alonzo Trier? R.J. Barrett and Julius Randle? Who's going to be the 1-2 with R.J. Barrett?
Who they picked up this year? They picked up another point guard, didn't they?
Well,
who's that kid they picked up?
Point guard.
They picked up a new guard, but I think RJ is going to do work. I think that kid Alonzo Trier is going to be nice. He's already shown that he's going to be good. I'm not sure yet. You know what I'm saying? I like to see how that's all gonna play out though. But I think that kid RJ, in terms of his overall skill set, I think he's gonna be really, really good player, and he's gonna be an all-star in the future. And again, he may ultimately be, you know, if their careers go long term, he may last longer than Zion at this point. I'm not sure. I'm not 100%
Okay.
on Zion like that.
All right.
And I hope that he's not a bust, but who knows?
All right, now, you all know about the Chris Porzingis. Got traded to Dallas Mavs. Was you upset by that?
No, not really. Initially, I think I was. When I first saw that they traded him and didn't understand what was the rationale for trading him. But until we learned that, you know, he really wanted to be traded. He didn't want to be here.
Right.
You know, so yeah, you know, he had to go, you know. And they got that kid from Dallas. That's who I think is going to do work with RJ. The kid from Dallas.
Oh, Dennis Smith Jr.
Dennis Smith Jr.
Okay.
You know, I think he's going to be.
Him and RJ Barrett?
Yeah, I think he's going to do work this year too, you know. You know, another year with the Knicks.
Yeah.
Another year under Tisdale. I think he's going to do work.
Now, do you like Coach Fizdale as a coach?
Yeah.
Out of all the coaches we had, Knicks had a lot of coaches in the past. From Pat Riley, Mike D, Jeff Hornacek.
Well, he's not up there with them. But I think what happened is Tisdale is a good coach. And he's good for this team right now. In fact, they're so young. They're still developing. He's getting them right, you know? And I think ultimately he's going to be, you know, a damn good coach.
Okay.
You know, an all-star coach, you know what I'm saying? Because he already has the ability, you know, to do that. He was a great assistant coach in Miami. You know, he was a good coach in Memphis, you know. So I think he's going to be a good coach for that. He's already a good coach for the Knicks.
Right,
you know what I'm
right.
saying?
Okay.
But I think he's really going to be an all-star coach in the future.
How you feel about Kevin Knox?
Kevin Knox is good. He's good. He's still developing.
Now, last year, you know, he was struggling a little bit, but he progressed as the season went on.
Right.
So, yeah. And the most controversial question I can ask, the Frenchman, Frank Ntilikina.
Okay.
He averaged 5 points per game. His defense is impeccable. You can't talk nothing about his defense.
Right.
5-star general when it comes to the defense.
They holding on to him. I know he was a first round pick, and I know they holding on to him. They still developing him. They're hoping that he's going to be something in the future. You know what I'm saying? His offensive game got to get better. He definitely got great defense, like you said. You know, he's a work in progress right now.
So should we keep him, have him play off the bench, or should we ship him out?
He might get traded by the middle of the season if someone wants him, but yeah. Right now he could be trade bait, you know. But you know, if he gets hurt again and he's hurt again this year, they should trade him.
Okay.
You know.
Now you mentioned point guards. You said that Dennis Smith Jr. You like him.
I like his game.
Do you think Dennis Smith Jr. was a good option? Even though we let somebody like Trey Burke go?
I like Trey Burke. That was the one player that I was kind of like disappointed that they let go. But then again, they had so many point guards. They got Ntilikina. They got the other kid. You know, so they got a crew. Oh my God, look at that rat.
Well, yeah. Some would say that Trey Burke didn't play no D though.
Oh yeah.
How you feel about that?
I mean, he was little, man. He's a little guard, you know what I'm saying? He can light it up. He remind me of Allen Iverson in a lot of ways, you know what I'm saying? Without the defense, of course. Yeah. He could have developed some more defense, you know?
All right,
But
and
he was pretty good.
last but not least, no Kevin Durant like New York City thought. You know, the heart of New York,
Right.
which is the Knicks.
Right.
Do you think he was scared to come to the Broadway stage, which I call the Knicks, the
No,
Broadway?
I think he wanted to come.
And he went off Broadway to the Knicks.
Nah, I think he wanted to come to the Knicks. But what happened was, you know, they didn't offer him nothing. They act like they didn't want him. You know, they say they want him. In the media they wanted him, but you know, like I don't think they gave him like those guaranteed dollars that they really wanted him. You know?
Do you fault the Knicks for that?
I mean, I can understand coming off that injury or what have you.
Torn
but that's
Achilles.
KD, man.
Yeah, but I'm saying.
And I guess they didn't want to wait a year.
I mean, this is what I'm understanding. Because I wanted KD too.
Right.
But do you think he was worth the risk from a torn Achilles? That's why we ain't jumped the gun for Chris Porzingis. Because he had injury. Ain't you tired of the Knicks picking up former stars and waiting till they crash down, then we sign them and whatnot?
So in a lot of ways, I'm kind of glad that, you know, I mean, I think that, I mean, I wish KD would have come to New York, would have come to the Knicks, you know, as opposed to going to Brooklyn. But I'm also glad they made good, you know, they made a good decision. They make good decisions now moving forward. It sounds like that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
And not rush the gun and not do some of the things that they may have done in the past. But it's just hard because you know the talent of KD, you know what I'm saying? You know what he can do. So, you know, like, the thing is with KP, Porzingis, he was still developing. You see what I'm saying?
Chris Porzingis?
Yeah, he was still developing. I mean, he was okay, but he wasn't no KD. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't no two-time champion. He wasn't no player like KD. He was still developing. So when he got hurt and they try to, you know, wait for him, but then when he started popping off, like, you don't want to be in New York no more.
Yeah, we gotta let him go, man.
Gotta let him go. Yeah.
He's the rat you just seen a few minutes ago.
Yeah,
the fat rat, aka the snake, man.
Yeah.
Who do you think's gonna bang it on Chris Porzingis when he come to the guard, man? We play Dallas, man, in November. Season starts. Who do you think's gonna get in his motherfucking ass? Do him dirty like the Russians.
Who's our big man?
Mitch,
yeah.
We got Mitchell Robinson.
Mitchell Robinson.
We got Julius Randle. We got, from the league.
I think Mitchell Robinson is gonna give him problems this year, yo.
Think so?
Yeah, I think he's gonna give him problems. He's gonna be a problem for everybody this year. You know what I'm saying? So he's gonna be the one player that I'm looking at this year that's gonna take that next step, you know, in his development. And I like to see him become more of a dominant force, you know, which I think he can. That kid is gonna be nice for the Knicks.
For the
Mitchell
Knicks.
Thomas, yeah. That's the one player that I'm looking at that I think that's gonna, you know, really be the cornerstone, the future of that team, the anchor.
All right, man. And with that being said, I want to thank you for coming on Knickervelli TV as we break down these Knickerbockers. Season's coming, y'all. We got, a month to go through? Preseason be here. And that's what it is, man. We out. Peace.
Peace.